On April 17, 2005, at 9 a.m. in Bali Airport, a 19-year-old boy stood at the check-in counter with trembling hands, while the woman in front of him smiled, thinking he was just afraid of flying, unaware that 4 kilograms of heroin were taped to his chest under his clothes, enough to earn a death sentence in Indonesia. Minutes later, as he walked toward security, Indonesian police stopped him, and by the end of the morning 9 young Australians were arrested, the youngest only 18 and fresh out of high school, the oldest 29 with a baby at home. Not criminals or drug lords, but broke and desperate people who had accepted the wrong offer. The plan had started 6 months earlier in Sydney when a poor restaurant worker named Andrew Chan was promised $20,000 to smuggle heroin from Bali to Australia and recruited his girlfriend and friends to form a group of 9. They flew separately to Bali, stayed in cheap hotels, and on April 15th wrapped small bricks of heroin to their bodies, some crying, some vomiting, some calling their families one last time, not knowing that Australian police had already warned Indonesian authorities. At the airport they were caught one by one, photographed by the media beside the drugs, their faces frozen in fear because they knew that drug trafficking in Indonesia meant death, and in the end, 2 of them were executed while the others were left to spend their lives in prison, a tragedy that began with a single phone call. 6 months earlier, Sydney, a guy named Andrew Chan gets approached, 21 years old, restaurant worker. Someone offers him a deal: fly to Bali, pick up heroin, bring it back, $20,000, one trip. Andrew thinks about it, 20 grand. April 8th, they fly to Bali, different flights, stay in cheap hotels, wait. April 15th, the call comes: tomorrow, be ready. That night, they meet in a room. The heroin arrives, small bricks, white powder. They start taping it to their bodies. Some are crying. Martin calls his wife, says, "I love you," 3 times. She asks why he sounds weird. He can't answer. Renee stares at a photo of her daughter, thinks about walking away, but the money, the promise. She keeps rapping. Scott vomits in the bathroom, his father's voice in his head: "Don't do this," but he's already here. What's done is done. Morning comes. They head to the airport, try to act normal, but here's what they don't know. Australian federal police tipped off Indonesia 3 days ago. The cops have been watching, waiting. This whole time. Check in. Andrew goes first. No problem. Murin, fine. Then Scott, the 19-year-old. Security grabs him. "Come with us. Private room. Remove your shirt." He starts begging, crying. They find the heroin. Then they grab the others, one by one. All 9 arrested. Cameras everywhere. Indonesian media goes crazy. Australian drug smugglers caught. Photos of them lined up. Heroin displayed. Their faces show pure terror because they know Indonesian law. Drug trafficking equals death penalty. The trial. Months later. Australia tries everything. Prime Minister calls. Diplomats beg. Indonesia doesn't budge. 7 get life in prison. Karabakan. Overcrowded. Brutal. They're 20 years old. Life means life. Then the sentences for Andrew and Murin, the recruiters, the organizers. The judge stands. Death by firing squad. Their mothers scream. Collapse. For 10 years, Australia fights for them, and in prison, they change. Andrew becomes a pastor, starts a church. Murin becomes an artist, teaches painting. They're reformed, rehabilitated, different people, but Indonesia says the law is the law. April 29, 2015, 3 a.m. They're taken to Execution Island, given white clothes, offered blindfolds. They refuse. "We want to see." 12 soldiers, rifles ready. Andrew and Murin hold hands, start singing Amazing Grace, their voices in the darkness. Then gunfire, silence. 2 Australians dead for a choice they made as kids. Today, 7 Bali 9 members are still in Indonesian prisons. Scott Rush is 40 now. He was 19 when arrested. Half his life gone. Matthew Norman was 18, now 37. Renee got out in 2018 after 13 years. Came home broken. The others remain. Families visit, bring hope, but hope fades in concrete cells. The lesson: $20,000 cost them everything. Freedom, youth. For 2 of them, their lives. 1 choice, 1 trip, 1 decision, and some mistakes you never come back from. This is the Bali 9, a warning, a tragedy, a reminder that easy money doesn't exist, and some doors, once you walk through them, lock behind you forever. Real story, real people, real consequences. If this made you think twice, hit subscribe. More true Australian stories coming.